And Mr. Parkhurst,
Parkhurst to live at 1016 Johnson Lane.
thank you.
Start off with, I'd like to thank him for preceding me. I can echo that. I take it from a cost point of view. We are in our second default for $7.5 million on the power plant. It's ruining our credit rating. It seems that the city and certain other boats are beholden to the stockholders and the customers and what's best for CWLP, but not the citizens of Springfield. I believe that the city, quite possibly, by certain figures, we're already $600 million in bonds. We borrowed $600 million in 2006. At that time, we hadn't even paid our pension funds and got them caught up. So there's another $230 million. And we have certain people saying that we're in a positive financial state. And you can look at any figure and come up with anything you want. But the bottom line is, I asked this question to the City Council in a letter probably about a year and a half ago, when one of the board members or the council members asked the CWLP representative at that time, well, why don't we think about selling it? He said it wasn't a buyer's market or a seller's market. I was like, well, so my question was, when is it going to be? When it gets to the point where CWLP bankrupts the city and owns the city? Another thing is that we talk about laws and statutory laws. At the last couple meetings, a couple weeks ago, there are some misstatements, misrepresentations, falsifications, prevarications of statutory law by the mayor and corporate counsel. The statute clearly states certain things. Corporate counsel then proceeded to give me two other statutes. Now, he misstated facts in those statutes, too. He said $100 million or $100,000. I believe the figure is $1 million. I can find nowhere in anything that says that we have to hire a representative for a private citizen. That's what that ordinance says, the officer and his girlfriend. The first ordinance where you guys passed is actually, I don't know if that's considered public funds or not, the roundup. But that's considered public funds. That was passed in direct violation of the Illinois State Constitution, which clearly states that any legislature, town, municipality, anybody cannot use public funds for any religious or sectarian group. And right above that, there's another interesting thing on the environment, where no legislation, when you go to pass a law, it should be taken into consideration the environmental impact and how it's going to better our future for our children, not worsen it. There's a bunch of other things I want to talk about, but that's just where I want to leave it right now. I do have several questions for it. I want some explanations. I want some answers from the last letter I sent almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, that I filed with the city clerk after the meeting, had a copy for everybody. I sent every one of the council members an email with certain questions. I believe not only I deserve the right to know these answers, the citizens of this city deserve to know the answers to these questions. Last thing I want to say is, when we're talking about city holidays, there's a group out there now promoting a return to the rightful meaning of Armistice Day from Veterans Day, where it was a celebration and a commemoration that's held sacredly, as the end and a call for peace, where the church bells rang in the cities on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, occurring after World War II or World War I. Allegedly the war to end all wars. I just think it'd be good practice. Other than that, I'm sure I could clarify some more at a different time, but that's all I got to say tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.